This is Chapter 3, Section number 2, Part 2. It is entitled Inside Tenonchtitlan. Moctezuma had sent messenger after messenger, ordering Cortez to return to the coast. He was not welcome in the city, but a man that ignores his own governor and sinks his ships is not going to turn back now. Moctezuma, not knowing what to do, invited them in. This was his second big mistake. When they reached the city of Tenonchtitlan, the Spaniards were in awe of what they saw. The city was bigger than any in Europe and more beautiful than any Cortez had ever seen. The city was built on a man-made island in the middle of a massive Lake Texcoco. Stone causeways connected the various islands. Fruits and vegetables were grown on their own artificial islands called chinapas. We've studied about those, which could only be reached by canoe. The city was divided into districts, each with its own market. However, the grand market was in the nearby city of Nalactaco. Here, 25,000 people gathered to trade everything from beans to peppers, to monkeys, bricks, parrots, obsidian, gems, tools, the list goes on. The main currency used was cocoa beans, which were very rare and valuable. Each district was made up of the homes of the commoners that were built of mud and sticks. In the district market, you could buy everyday food items from rabbits and deer, quail, and even dogs. The city itself is laid on in a grid pattern, and in the center is a huge walled square where the palaces and pyramid temples to the Aztec gods stood. The largest of these pyramid temples, rising 246 feet high, was dedicated to the feathered serpent Quetzalcoatl. The palace of the emperor was equally impressive, with 100 rooms, each with their own private bathroom for visiting nobles. This is a direct quote from the account of what Hernan Cortez had seen. This great city of Tenonchtitlan is built on the Salt Lake, and no matter by what road you travel, there are 2 leagues from the main body of the city to the mainland. There are 4 artificial causeways leading to it, and each is as wide as 2 cavalry lances. This city itself is as big as Seville or Cordoba back in Spain. The main streets are very wide and very straight. Some of these are on the land, but the rest and all the smaller ones are half on land, half on canals where they paddle their canoes. All the streets have openings in places so that the water may pass from one canal to another. Over all these openings, and some of them are very wide, there are bridges. There are, in all districts of the great city, many temples or houses for their idols. They are all beautiful buildings. Amongst these temples there is one, the principal one, whose great size and magnificence no human tongue can describe. For it is so large that within the precincts, which are surrounded by very high wall, a town of some 500 inhabitants could easily be built. All round inside this wall there are very elegant quarters with very large rooms and corridors where their priests live. There are as many as 40 towers, all of which are so high that in the case of the largest, there are 50 steps leading up to the main part of it, and the most important of these towers is higher than that of the Cathedral of Seville. Cortez and his men were invited to stay in one of the palaces as a personal guest of the emperor. They are given a tour of the city, and on one particular stop they are taken to the pyramid temple of the god of war. At the top of the pyramid is an altar with a statue of part hummingbird, part man wearing a mask of gold. The Spanish immediately notice a strong stench of blood in the air. In a bowl at the base of the altar are fresh human hearts from a sacrifice made earlier that day. The Spanish are horrified by this and make comments to Moctezuma about his religion being barbaric. Cortez's aim is to convert the Aztecs to Christianity. Moctezuma is insulted by Cortez's words and tells him that he should not have brought him to the place of honor. This is an important moment that will define the rest of what happens to the Spanish in Tenonchtitlan. The Spanish and the Aztecs are facing a clash of cultures. The Spanish follow the Catholic traditions with a belief in one God, and Jesus Christ is the Son of God. Like the Aztecs, the Spanish believe that God is all-powerful, can bring him harm or good. The Christians offer fast and prayers to their God. However, the Aztecs offer blood and prayers to theirs. The Aztecs believe in the existence of many gods that control different forces of nature or life events. The Aztec gods brought rain, made the sun shine, the crops grow, and prevented disease. Human sacrifice was a big part of the Aztec religion. They believed that the gods required human blood for nourishment, and the best type of blood was that of a noble or a brave warrior. Each day, the priest in charge of a particular god would offer a small blood sacrifice by cutting himself. On special occasions or during impending disasters, say like Cortez showing up, the gods would be given a full human sacrifice. For example, after a successful battle, the nobles of the losing side would be taken to the top of the pyramid, where the priest would cut open the victim's chest and pull their heart from the body. The corpse would then be thrown down the steps of the pyramid. To keep the gods happy, the Aztecs are almost always at war with their neighbors so that they can continue to acquire fresh souls for sacrifice.